Hello, guys, and happy Inauguration Day. I'm Elena, the base mother, and it is January 20th, 2025. And this is the day that so many of us have been waiting for years. I mean, okay, you could say we've only been waiting for it truly since November 6th, when we woke up to find out that Trump won the election. But really, even that feels like years. It felt like a very long time ago. And so many of us were worried about safety and if this inauguration was going to go off okay. And it so far today, as of like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, it has been nothing but smooth. It's been a beautiful, flawless, patriotic event. I cannot tell you. I don't need to tell you because you're probably, if you're watching this, feel the same way. I have been overrun with emotion all day long. Patriotism, relief, relief. It feels like I'm going to sleep well tonight for the first time because America is finally in the hands of people who actually love her. And to know that is so comforting. And sure, we have a bumpy road ahead, but for today, just like election day, I want us to all really bask and enjoy. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is what was going on in DC outside of the inaugural events. And Damon Galdo from the Jersey Shore podcast and his producer, also named Damon, they were on the streets talking to people in DC, and he sent me a whole bunch of clips. And Damon Galdo, the host of the show, is going to be on in just a moment, and one of his co-hosts, Jen, is going to be with him too. And Jen stayed back in New Jersey, just the way I stayed back in Florida, and we've had to watch from afar. But I can't wait to hear what they have to say, like the excitement that went on in the streets. This one clip from what Damon sent me today really captures the feeling of that I have seen in everything, in newscasters, on the streets, in the inaugural events. Look, check out these super fun ladies.
You gonna make America great again?
Make America great again! Make America great again! USA! USA!
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Just like this pure happiness that we haven't seen here in so very long. All right, so without further ado, let me bring in Damon and Jen. Let's get this conversation started.
Hi.
Damon.
Hey,
All right,
how you doing?
good. So you've been out in the cold all day. Now you're finally in the heated car on the way back to Jersey.
Driving back, and we're eating our Trump fries from McDonald's right now. So because we were starving, it was a great time. It was a great experience. It really was. And everyone that you talked to, they were so excited. It felt like everyone was so excited that they got their country back. And that's what mostly people talked about. They were sayonara to Biden and Kamala, and it was just the normal people out there that said, "Hey, we think we're back." And I asked a lot of people the question, like, what do you think we're back on track now? And they said, "Absolutely, we are." And the vibe is very good out there. And so many people came out there in the frigid cold. It wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be. I mean, we bought electric socks, battery electric gloves, but we were out there the whole time, and but everyone loved being there. There was not a problem whatsoever. Everyone just was talking to each other, and anyone that wanted to interview. There were some people that said they didn't want to be on the podcast, but it was far few between. But mostly everybody said, "Yeah, sure." They want to talk, and they want to be interviewed. They want to talk about how much they love this country and how they think that we actually have gotten it back today.
Yes, I watched all the clips you sent me, and I know there are even more that you're going to be sharing, on your own podcast. And it was all such positivity and such joy. Jen, you've been watching from home. Like, what's your take on the day?
What I was impressed with the most is how people came from all over the place that you found, from Texas, from Georgia, I think it was, there was people from all over that traveled just to be there. And I think one of the people that you interviewed like said it pretty well that, it's the I think he was military too. The guy said that this was the best inauguration or the most attended. He never saw anything like it in his lifetime. So, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what he said, but that's the feeling that he expressed. And it is. It's truly a memorable, once in a lifetime kind of experience. And I'm envious that you got to experience it firsthand out there. But I'm so happy for you.
Well, thank you. I mean, when you were freezing your butt off, I got my sister's in the back seat here, so she was freezing. Uh, I felt bad for her. Every time I kept asking her, I said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" She's like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." She's all wrapped up like a burp. But,
You're a trooper,
but
troopers. I saw one of the questions you asked was, what do you want people to say on, what do you want to see happen day one? And I have a couple of clips of those answers. You mind if I throw it up?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right. This is cool.
And I keep eating my fries.
What's the number one thing that you want Trump to change first, day one?
Man, the number one thing. I think immigration is one of our biggest downfalls that's taking place right now. It's really just going to been hurting the economy, and then all the horrible events have been taking place because of it. Other than that, I really wanted to see him drill, baby drill. I want to get back into being the number one leader in gas and oil and natural gas and everything.
Yeah, was that a common theme? Immigration and energy independence?
It was, but yeah, definitely was. I mean, everyone I asked, it was the border, it was energy, it was the economy, and they're all tied together as well. So, but that's what most people were talking about. That's why Trump got elected again, based just on that. So,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, there's one more lady, and this is what she thinks is the first thing that needs to be done before anything can be done. And I'd love to talk about this. Here, check this out.
Number one thing that you want Trump to act on first that he promised, everything he promised in his campaign. What's number one thing day one today? Drain the swamp.
Absolutely.
Start with that. It's hard to do anything else when you got all them in there.
It's hard to do anything else when you got all them in there. So
absolutely.
How can he do that? I mean, Trump promised to drain the swamp during his first term. I think he somewhat naively went in thinking that he could be a deal maker, that he could work with these people, and they absolutely stonewalled him at every chance. And then they dropped the pandemic on him. They did everything they could to make it impossible for him to drain the swamp because that was their biggest fear. The American people are their cash cow. They love having the power over us. So this time, what do you think he can actually do to drain the swamp?
Well, I don't know if we got you that clip yet or not. There was one question I asked somebody that was at the 2016 inauguration. I asked him, what's the difference between 2016 Trump and 2024 Trump? And we had an exchange about that. And I believe, and so did the person I was talking to, believe that the difference was Trump came in as an outsider. He didn't really know Washington that much. I think he visited Washington one time before he became president. I believe he said that before, maybe once or twice. But he's a New York guy. But he wasn't involved in politics. He didn't know how, who to trust. He didn't have any friends. He just got in there and didn't know what to do. Well, not to say he didn't know what to do, but didn't know how the game worked. But I think this time he insulated himself with a great cabinet, a bunch of people that he can trust, that are loyal, I think he learned from the first time. And I think it's a great idea. I think it was better that he lost in 2020 because now he's coming in and he knows more. He knows a lot more. And we see what happened, all the bad stuff that happened under Biden-Harris administration, and him coming right back in. If he would have served a second term in 2020, I don't think there wouldn't have been that much of an impact that we're getting right now. So from him not winning in 2020 and then coming back roaring in 2024 with the popular vote, winning every swing state, and I think it was a better impact, and I think it woke a lot of people up. to go out and vote for him because they've seen how bad it can get under the far left Democrats agenda.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the corruption now with our own eyes, and more people have developed this, thank God, mistrust of the government. And so when he says drain the swamp, now more people are like, yes, now we know what you mean by the swamp. So what do you think, Jen?
I
I'm
agree
sorry,
with that.
get my fries.
That's okay. You can eat your fries. I'm jealous. I agree with that concept. I think that there was too many people that were against him, and he wasn't as aware as he is now as who his enemies were, who were gonna backstab him. I think he's more aware now of how they play dirty. And I
Yeah.
think the people are also more awake now. They had a lot of people that didn't vote for him before that voted for him now that are aware as well. Just with even just seeing things, I think if they're not aware, I think people should be more aware that weren't prior to November, of just seeing how Biden has pardoned all these criminals, and even pardoned Fauci this morning, and Cheney, and others, that which boggles my mind how you can pardon someone that hasn't been accused of anything. Like, so I don't understand how that concept works. But so they have to, in my mind, you have to admit to guilt before you can be pardoned. So are they admitting to guilt? I mean, he wrote, there was an article that I shared that he wrote that they didn't agree to anything guilty, or state that they were guilty of anything. So how does that exactly work going forward? Because I'm
Same with
sure.
his family. Same with his family.
Right.
Oh yeah, everybody's
Yeah,
innocent,
yeah.
but here a part. Like what? This seems like dictator. Like what's the word I'm looking for? Dictatorial. I can't even say it. Like dictator
Yes.
Yeah,
stuff.
Yes.
yeah.
Dictator stuff. I can get
Right.
that word out. Yeah,
Well,
They call Trump the dictator. I mean,
yeah.
he pardoned his
exactly.
family
Or
15 minutes
gaslighting.
before Trump got sworn in. Pardoned them for what? What were
Right.
they accused of? I know a lot of people know that they're dirty, but there was never any charges against them. So how do you pardon somebody with a blanket pardon, whether it be Fauci, whether it be General Milley, whether it be his family? How do you pardon somebody? Is that a real
Cheney.
thing? Is that a law?
Well,
There's
yes,
I
definitely a way
it
I
is.
don't
around
know.
We need to do some research on this, and I want to
Yes.
do a show on the law on this, and I want to know like what the rationale is for giving this much power to any president. No one should be able to blanket pardon somebody for crimes that they haven't been tried and prosecuted of. I find it abhorrent that this is the conversation we're having.
Right.
And yeah, I think as podcasters, I think we should all go out and educate the American people on this,
Right.
and then get on our legislators and say, like we're not having this. I mean, we're talking about treason, election interference,
Yeah.
what is it? Influence peddling, probably money laundering. Like what on earth? Oh, no problem. Whatever you did, no, like
Not to mention the medical
atrocious.
atrocities that came out of Fauci. So, I mean, but I don't understand how Biden is even permitted to do that hours before an inauguration. Like, how is that even permitted? Like,
Well,
or
that doesn't bother me so much because up until the new president is sworn in, he is the commander in chief, and
yeah, but
somebody's got to
that's
be in
highly
charge.
suspicious. That's highly suspicious. Like hours before you're just going to do a blanket pardon. Like
Well,
that just to me calls into question about like what is he hiding? And I think that brings into play a lot of people that weren't Trump fans before have to, if they don't see it, I don't understand it, but they have to be able to see now that everything that Biden has accused Trump of, Biden has done.
Well,
So,
they're not
how
gonna
they
though.
can't see that, I don't know.
Some people will, Jen, but the hardcores won't. They will buy that Trump is an evil dictator. And if Biden didn't do this, that he would have just made up charges and put all of Biden's family in jail just because he hates them. They will actually say things like that. We're going to see those talking points if we haven't
Mhm.
already. Right now, the inauguration is dominating the news cycle as it should because it's beautiful and patriotic and wonderful. But those
It
are the
is.
talking points we're going to hear. They cannot wrap their minds around truth. They still think men can get pregnant and men can be women. So these aren't people who live in actual reality anyway. But I have an idea on how Trump can drain the swamp.
Okay.
And my day one, day two, drop the Epstein and the Diddy lists. Let them out. You know what that'll do? So first of all, it'll get rid of half of Washington right then and there. Boom, handcuffs. All of Hollywood will shut up and just mind their own business. And all the people who aren't on the list but are connected to the people on the list and know something that they don't want to be investigated for, they're all just going to shut up and disappear and not draw attention to themselves. That will clear the path for him and part the Red Sea of resistance and take away a lot of the friction for him to get his agenda moving forward. That's how I see it. And I know some of those people that go down are going to be his friends. I don't care. I need his agenda done.
You're right about that, but what do you think about where he's going with the Hollywood ambassadors with Stallone, Mel Gibson, and what was the other one? John Boyd.
I know. What are they actually supposed to do?
What was that
Yeah,
about?
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
I don't know. I know they all supported him, the Republicans, but he's making them the ambassadors of Hollywood. I have to look into it. What he's planning on doing there. It might have something to do with what we're talking about.
The only thought that I had with that is, I know that, and I apologize if I get this a little wrong because I'm going by my memory here, but I know the government has a media, like a film and media section of the government. Like they have it, the FBI goes through everything, or the CIA. I'm not sure which exact group monitors all that stuff, but they actually have something like that. Maybe they would be more involved with that side of the government to make sure that things get told or done correctly. I don't know. This is just me spitballing here, but that's the only thing I could think of.
Oh, we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you one thing. There's one thing I'm not going to let go. When I get home, I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm going to look up every law there is, anything that's to do with all these pardons, because he did it last minute. There's got to be a way around it. I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to start a movement. I don't care if I have to collect signatures from millions of people to get rid of these pardons, because he pardoned people because they're dirty and they're not even accused of a crime. It just shows you that they are dirty and they have done wrong things, and that's Biden is the dirtiest one of them all. But that's my goal from here on out.
Well, hell, even the people that he pardons that were convicted, we're talking about people who were child molesters, or he commuted their death sentences, or like people who had volumes of child pornography. Like, why is this person even on your radar, Joe Biden? Yeah. What is going on here?
He pardoned a man that raped and murdered, and I hate to say this, it makes my skin crawl. Raped and murdered 8-year-old, 9-year-old girl, and stabbed him in the eye 30 times to kill him. That is just abhorrent. I mean, I don't. Why?
How is that possible that a president would connect himself? Well, then again, we heard Speaker Johnson doing an interview saying that he was asking the president about something specific, and the president was like, I didn't do that, because Joe Biden didn't even know what he was signing. So that everything that's happened, he doesn't know what he's signing. Here, sign this. It's your ice cream order, Mr. President. And he puts his signature on it, and it becomes law, because he wasn't actually doing it. And I don't want to defend Joe Biden, but
right, because that's scary that we had a president that doesn't know what he's doing.
Are you guys Lord of the Rings fans? When Lord Theron, when he was possessed by Sauron, and then he finally, Gandalf came and removed the evil from him, and his eyes lit up again. I feel like that's who he is. Like, he is just possessed by his dementia and some sort of evil that just lets him go, yes, agree with whatever the puppet masters say. It's really troubling. But can we talk about something more positive?
Yeah,
sure. Let's go.
All right. Here's a clip from fun stuff that Damon did today.
Trump getting reelected.
That's the best thing for all of us.
You think it's the best thing
It's
for?
the best. It's going to make America again, make America great again. It's going to make Europe great again. It's going to make the civilized society is going to make it great again.
No, just seeing him get elected, all the changes already happened already. I mean,
Even before he's been inaugurated, changes happened.
Yeah, in every other country too.
It's huge. It is absolutely huge. But
so, how do you feel about moving forward? You optimistic?
Absolutely. We're going to enter a golden age. I truly believe that. We are about to enter a golden age. We're in the golden age.
I guess he says we're entering the golden age, and as of today, I assume he means we're in the golden age.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
I hope so.
It was nice meeting all them types of people from from everywhere, different states. And people came in from California, Texas, Washington State, Idaho, Wisconsin. I mean, we got so many. I think we covered about half the states, pretty much.
And that guy was English, right?
Yeah,
that guy was from England. He said, right? Yeah. Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing the unity from everywhere, and even in his in President Trump's speech, inauguration speech, he spoke about that. He spoke about the unity, and he wants to be the president of basically unity going forward, and just in honor of MLK Day, just not seeing color anymore, and just having people to be seen by their own merit and character. Like that's huge right there. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I want to give Joe Biden credit because his entire campaign promise was unifying the country, and he did it.
You're right.
He did it.
He did it by
not in the way he wanted, but yes.
But he
did it.
it
By default, I will say.
He did it by disaster, by destroying the country, because shared suffering brings people together. And that's what he did. He inflicted so much suffering on this nation that most of us came together and are now moving forward. And even because of the California fires, even those liberals are coming our way now because they're seeing the fault in their ways with their lesbian and people of color running their city who are incompetent. They're waking up, and it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, I think it may have been a good thing that Trump didn't win in 2020 and then come roaring back in 2024, because it showed everybody, we had Trump 2016 to 2020, and then we got the worst of the worst for 4 years under Biden. And it showed everybody that, okay, well, we're not going to be woke. We're not going to go that route. It's going to destroy this country. And people realize it. So they had to see, the dark side of it. To say, whoa, this is wrong. And it woke a lot of people up. I hate using the word woke too, because the left, kind of owns that. But I don't care anymore. I'll steal it from them.
Well, you used it as a verb, not an adjective. It's two different things.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
But
but it's
beyond
I think it was a good thing.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
and
Jen.
beyond
Sorry.
just being no, go ahead. But beyond just being unity in our nation, the United States, you're seeing unity. Like people in other countries are, just as happy as we are. That we have people, we have someone in office and people behind him in office now that are going to do the right thing, and that gives other people in other countries hope as well, that that there's going to be peace and unity even across the world. So it's it's a great day, not just for our country, but it's a great day for the world in general. It's just a great day, period. So
let's look at.
You can feel it out there. No, you can feel it out there. You can feel the vibe, and it was electric. And people were so happy. It was like they were so relieved, to get rid of Biden and Harris and have Trump come back in. I think Trump had flaws. Everyone knows that. Everyone has flaws, but they were just so happy to make America great again. And that's the message. I mean, everyone turned that into, that it was bad. I say it all the time that MAGA Republicans, on white supremacy. No, it's make America great again. That's what it stands for, and that's what everyone felt today. It was great.
Yeah, look, here's another little clip of some positivity.
Years ago, it was hard to say that you were backing Trump. Like everyone was afraid to say it. But
I wasn't.
I wasn't either. But a lot of people are different now. Do you think? Like it's like a breath of fresh
Well,
air.
they finally are stopping to drink the Kool-Aid, hopefully.
Yeah, that's right.
You met a lot of fun people today. You really did.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
some of these
It was an
people
experience
were-
of lifetime.
yeah, like I had a hard time picking which clips to even share today because it was so positive, like you said, and that relief, like it's like the just tension just went down, even though in many ways it's about to go up. So they're Tom Homan is already at work getting ready to go round up illegal aliens and bring them back. You saw that the CPB app shut down, and all the appointments that illegals had at the border to come in and sign up for all their free lifestyle, all their appointments got canceled. So we're talking about immediate changes that happened, and there's going to be some pushback and some bug outs and some violence, maybe. I hope not too much. When he goes after the drug cartels, there's going to be violence there. So I hope that within a couple of years we're back to normal. I hope it doesn't take too long to do all this cleanup.
With Carrie Underwood, something my husband pointed out to me when Carrie Underwood was singing the national anthem, and the audio went to go on, the music started to play, but then the music just cut out. And Damon, I don't know if you knew this or not, but so there were several minutes that went by, there was just silence, people trying to get the music to come back on. And then Carrie Underwood said, "All right, everybody, I need your help with, singing this." And she just started belting it out a cappella, and everybody started joining in. And my husband said, this is going to be basically representative of like probably even what this next 4 years, like if things go wrong and people try to stop him, he's just going to pick up and carry on and just move forward, and everybody's going to join in and sing together. Like it's just representative of, all right, this happened, we're going to just do it my way, and we're going to kick ass doing it. So that's basically, what that demonstrated. So it was great.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
Yeah, I got to check it out when I get home. We didn't have the luxury of sitting in our warm houses today and watching on TV. We're out there.
Don't miss a minute. Like go and watch it right from
I definitely want to see it.
When they were all walking into the rotunda at the very beginning of the day. Like we're missing things now, So we're gonna wrap up soon because I think we all want to get back to watching TV and seeing what's going on. I mean, so far he gave the inauguration speech, then he went downstairs in the Capitol and gave another speech. Then he was going to the lunch to give another speech, and then he was going to the rally at the arena to give a speech, which may be happening now or soon. And I'm probably missing events in there, like him and Melania, and I guess they're sleeping at the White House tonight, right? This is just incredible. They're having this wild, nonstop day, and I'm so impressed.
Did you guys hear about Kamala Harris wouldn't let JD Vance go into like baby-proof their quarters in the White House because they have 2 young kids or 3, whatever.
No.
They have young children. And Kamala Harris would not let them come in ahead of time to basically put the plastic things in the outlets, just baby-proof pretty much. And she won't allow them to do it.
Well, I think it's obnoxious, but like at the same time, like that can get, they have staff that will get that could get that done during the inauguration.
I'm sure it's going to happen.
I don't want to get caught up on baby proofing because I just think it's like.
No, I don't care about the baby. They're going to get it done, but the fact that Kamala Harris wouldn't allow them, how bitter is she that she's not allowed to do that?
Yeah, I think that it was something like what I heard was that it was like they just wanted to like take a tour of the house so they could just get a lay of the land and think about what their life was going to look like. And yeah, she was just, she's petty. Did you see her? Oh, see, Damon, wait until you watch it.
Yeah.
So during Trump's speech, he was just very calm, very, very measured. in his inaugural speech. It was fantastic. It was unusual, though, because he was going on about all the problems in the country and basically just going down the laundry list of all of their failures. And they just had to sit there and take it. It was so good. And her face was like,
I can't wait to watch it when I get home.
it was all she could do to keep her face together. It was like watching a demon hear the name of Jesus over and over again. She was like,
because they have to eat it. They have to eat it. They failed. I mean, they failed completely. And you know what? I'm not ashamed of saying it. I don't care how they feel, because they should feel the way they feel, because they ruined this country. The 4 years they were in office. I mean, it's going to take decades to recover. And I think we will. I'm hopeful that we will, and optimistic that we will. But it's going to take decades to recover from the damage they did. I mean, you think about it, all the illegals we have to get rid of, and all just the spending was crazy. We're $36 trillion in debt.
And some people will never recover, like the families of all the people who were killed by illegal aliens. They are never going to recover from this.
They should feel it every single day. It's their fault. They made huge mistakes, and I believe they were on purpose. Honestly, I do. I believe they were trying to ruin this country for some reason. I don't know what they were part of or anything else, but I believe that they did everything they did purposely. And because Joe Biden did it on his way out the door, when he used the Lands Act for 625 million acres of ocean to you can't drill on and use that. So Trump's going to have to get around that. It's going to take time, but it's anything to slow him down. It's when he made the deal with 42,000 people work from home for no reason, while we're still paying for the government buildings. I think it's $8 billion per year that are empty. I mean, he's doing everything on purpose. And then he goes and pardons, his son, which we knew was anyway. And then he goes and pardons everybody else. We just talked about. I mean, it was anything to hold Trump back, hold this country back, basically. Yeah. And there's no other reason other than it was on purpose.
Don't get my tinfoil hat going, okay? So I'm not going to even go there.
Oh no, I'm not wearing a hat. I truly believe that it was on purpose. There's no other explanation for it. There's none.
No,
no, of course it was. Everything was all of this was purposeful. And again, Biden didn't know what he was doing. He was just signing an ice cream order every single time. And here we are. I mean, he couldn't have come up with any of these things. So, truly. Mm-hmm. I mean, not to say that he wouldn't have agreed if he wasn't demented, but he is. So he doesn't know what he was doing.
Well, well, before we go, I'm just going to say what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new movie. It's going to be called Weekend of Biden's. Remember Weekend of Bernie's? And 1 and 2. So I think we need to have a Weekend of Biden's. And somebody carry the dead president around and have him sign stuff and just hurt this country more than anyone ever could. It's
reality. Here's one. Here. Speaking, since we're going to wrap up soon, here's one man's parting words for Biden and Kamala that you got today, and I actually thought he was kind of polite. So here, check this out.
Your parting words, farewell words for Biden and Harris.
Kamala, you're fired. All right. And for Biden, you ain't even got to get out of bed no more. You ain't got no more appointments, buddy. You can sleep all day.
Yeah.
He sounded like he was doing Trump's voice when he said, Kamala, you're fired. It was awesome.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but I think you're right. Yeah. Well, anybody else have any final parting words before we wrap up today?
I'm good. I mean, you'll see it on our next episode. We'll get all the clips together and make sure everyone listening, listen to Jersey Shore podcast and Base Mother as well. So, and got a lot of good stuff coming up, and I'm very optimistic about the way this country is going, and I think it's going to be great podcasting here. I think we'll be able to talk about more positive things than negative going forward. I'm optimistic about that.
Won't that be refreshing for a change?
It would be. For sure.
Wow.
I mean, there's
For
still
sure.
a lot of
F-U-R-E.
work. There's still a lot of work that has to be done, but I am very confident in how he's going to handle it this time going forward. So,
Me too. Me too. All right. Well, Damon, who's driving, great work today. And Sis in the back. Thanks for going and bearing the cold. Damon, you're on. Nice. Thank you so much. He
Driving.
doesn't even know. There he goes.
That's right there. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much.
All. And Jen, thanks for coming.
sure. Thanks for having me. See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun, as usual, with Damon from the Jersey Shore podcast and Jen, one of his co-hosts. Fantastic. It takes a lot of time, effort, and guts to just go walking up to people on the street and putting a camera in their face. And so I've done it, and it's not easy. So I really appreciate that they did that. And I'm going to leave you with my fun little video that I made. That's, you can see it on Instagram and all those places. TikTok. Oh, TikTok's back up. These are my final words for Joe and Kamala. And you guys have a great night. God bless you. God, please bless and protect Donald Trump and JD Vance and their entire all their families and their team. And God bless America. Good night, everybody. Tiff Robinette Biden.
You're fired. Get out of here.
Kamala Devi Harris.
You're fired.
Alejandro Mayorkas.
You're fired. Get out.
Anthony Blinken.
You're fired.
Merrick Garland.
You're fired. Get out.
Lloyd Austin.
You're fired. Get out of here.
Richard Levine.
You're fired. Get the hell out of here.
Pete Buttigieg.
You're fired. Get out.
Barack Obama.
You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.